is time for Cardio Freedom Workout A. It's been a whole week. It's been a good week. I'm going to do the workout first and then talk a little bit about breaking a plateau this week. So let's get started. We're going to start with our kettlebell swings. Ten swings, 8 stick-ups, 10 swings, reverse flies, 10 swings, rotation, 10 swings, and straight arms, and then 10 more swings. 50 swings total. Here we go. Hinge those hips back. Stick-ups. Ten more swings. Bent over reverse fly. Third set of swings. Shoulder rotations. Nice and easy. Waking up the shoulders. Fourth set of swings. Full arm extensions overhead. Arms are coming next to my ears. Getting warm. Last set of swings. And there we have it. Going into a push-ups, goblet squats, rows, Romanian deadlift, overhead press, bicep curl, tricep extension. Good, solid, basic exercises. Here we go. Starting with the push-up. There we go. 8 on the counter. My feet are slipping a little bit. I'm gonna fix that. Down a yoga mat, that'll keep me from slipping. Much better. Abs tight, glutes engaged. Elbows straight back. Working in a circuit, it can save you time because you can move right on to the next exercise. 8 goblet squats. Using a 12 because then I'm going to double to the 25 when I do my next set. Don't let the feet roll out or roll in. and stick with this weight. There we go. Left arm first. And to the right arm. Working the back. Romanian deadlift. You can go ahead and stick with this. I am focusing my primary work really for the next 12 weeks. The most important thing is going to be my nutrition. I'm going to be committed to my training, using the best form I possibly can, but I'm not going to be pushing too far or too hard. And I'll tell you why. I want to stay safe and healthy because I find that if I don't push too hard, if I don't get too sore, if I don't risk injury, everything just goes better. Because if I get hurt, I'm much more likely to want to break my nutrition. All right, let's go. Romanian deadlift. Clear the knees, stand up and squeeze the lower body. 2, 3, staying up on top of my feet, not rolling out. Protect the knees. And 8. Overhead press. I'm going to go ahead and double this for the sake of time. If you have more time in the gym, you can certainly put one hand on your waist or one hand on a counter and do one arm at a time. But for the sake of time, I'm going to double this. For 8. Everything tight, zipped up. And pulling the weights down, not just letting them lower, pulling them down. Yeah. Bicep curl, tricep extension. A little bit of an upper body concentration, as you can see today. We're using those kettlebell swings to train the lower body and then focusing a little bit more on the upper body in the actual weightlifting workout. 8 reps. Squeezing the lower body, shoulders down. Next exercise. I am not as strong in my tricep extensions as I am in my bicep curls, so I'm dropping the weight down. This is a light weight, but it's going to allow me to fully extend that tricep, squeeze that tricep, which will help that definition to come up. Going for definition. Coming forward, downhill skier position, and then extend with power and control. Working through the entire rep, working here and here. 7, 8. So even a pair of 5-pound dumbbells can make a difference if you use excellent form. Pausing between sets, breathing, drinking some water, getting ready to go on to the next set. I am going to pull it on back. So as you can see, the session is really condensed because it's a circuit. I'm not having to wait and rest in between sets, right, in between exercises, I should say. But I am taking this break in between sets, shaking out the hands, getting my heart rate to return to that normal, like warm up heart rate level. Breathing is back to normal, and going back in and doing the more difficult set, which is 5 reps with heavier weight. Going to the floor, actual push-ups. For 5. Yep, that was difficult. Next exercise, goblet squat. My first set, my first circuit was with a 12. I'm gonna grab that 25. There's that 25. Grip. You can stack the hands. You can hold it right here at the chest, which is what I'm gonna do. If you have a wider one, you can hold it in this position, but I'm gonna stick with holding it right at the chest. Here we go. Hinging straight back, and 2, and 3, it's 4, and 5. Good. All right, so now we're gonna have the row, and I am gonna use this for my rows. Set that down, take a little bit of a rest. While I rest, I am reducing the amount of weight I'm lifting on my Romanian deadlifts, my deadlifts, and my one-leg deadlifts. I'll tell you why. Earlier this year, I was going for personal bests, and I was getting them, but I was irritating my knees. Now, I am not blaming lifting heavy. I'm blaming my form. I don't think that my hinge was really proper. I wasn't properly hinging in the hips, and my knees, what was happening is I was rolling out on my feet, and I believe that that's where the knee irritation was coming from. So until the end of this year, I'm gonna be pulling back the weight and really focusing on the form. And then next year in 2019, I'm sure that at the beginning of the year, I'm gonna be wanting to go for personal bests again. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that row. Just 5, but with a challenging weight. That qualifies. Coming around. All right, here we go. Abs tight. Working that back. Yes, that was heavy. Here we go. It is important not to compare what you lift to what other women can lift or what other men can lift. Sure, there are a lot of women who can row more weight than that, but that doesn't matter. I want to find the weight that's going to challenge me at 5 reps with perfect form. Next exercise, Romanian deadlift. What have I got? I'm going to go ahead and pull this bar. So what have I got? The bar is 10, 60, 70, 80. My personal best had gotten up to, I think, 115, so significantly less than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this for 5 reps. It's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be safe. And hinging my hips back. Oh, so the bar's right over my arches. You can't see that because of the way this is set up, but bear with me, it's over my arches. Here we go. And hinging back. 1, 2, clear the knees. 3, 4, 5. And down it goes. Yeah, I was stepping over. I was stronger a few months ago, but that's okay. Focusing on safety and form. Next exercise, overhead press. Gonna put the barbell away. All right, overhead press, gonna double this. So I was using 8s, now I'm gonna use 15s. The math isn't perfect. 8 times 2 is 16, right? But we want to get close to, in our 8 rep circuit, right? Going to be 50% of our 5 rep circuit. Make sense? Okay, here we go. Stepping back. Hard, but doable. Curls with 12s. If I was willing to struggle, I could use 15s, but I don't want to struggle. I want to use excellent form. Almost there. Gonna take a bit of a rest. Shake out my hands. Shake out my arms, resting, breathing. This is the final lift of the day. Ready? Coming forward. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Little swingy. So what I mean by swingy is I kind of had to swing them to get into position, but it still felt really good. So I'm gonna go into just a couple of stretches. Lunging forward, reaching up, and coming back, hamstring, feels good. And switching it out. Good test for the balance. Breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And coming to the hamstring. Oh, feels good. 4 breaths. And coming back up into a total body stretch. Releasing the head. taking that again. Flat back down. Release the head. Lace the fingers. Inhale. Don't roll the feet out. Right up on top of the feet. Exhale. Stretch on the side. Look up for more. And open it. Lace the fingers. Oh, stretch. And just a little bit of balance. And on 4, I'm going to stay up. Balance. And release. Thank you for joining me. So that concludes the training session. So we had our warm-up, our weightlifting, and a stretch at the end. If you want to stay with me, I'm going to talk a little bit about breaking a plateau this week. I was doing very, very well last year. I was writing and directing a show over the holidays, and I was able to get nice and lean, really into that spot where, everything fit great and I was feeling really good. And that was pretty good through the beginning of the year. And then I'm not quite sure exactly what was going on. I was doing a carnivore experiment. I was seeing what it would be like to go keto. And I definitely see how that works for people. It had a good effect on my appetite, My appetite definitely was reduced, but I plateaued. I couldn't seem to get the scale to move, and not only that, but the tape measure wasn't moving either. So I know it wasn't that I was building muscle or things like that. Everything was just kind of stationary. So I took another look at what I was doing, and so here's what I did. I considered going OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, and that didn't quite work for me because of my schedule and because of the things I'm doing. I get concerned. I'm a little bit concerned about, am I going to crash and things like that. I didn't. But so I haven't gone 1 meal a day. But what I have done is I've gone with a pretty tight eating window. And in a way, what I'm doing is I'm doing 1 meal a day right around 10 or 11, and then having, a little bit like a hard-boiled egg and a cup of broth in the morning, and my coffee with cream in order to get going. My busiest part of the day for me is early morning up until noon, and then main meal at noon, and then I kind of get a break, and then things get busy again in the evening. So it's working really, really well, where I'm doing a small breakfast, a substantial meal right around noon, and then I'm done. So I guess what I'm really doing is like a 16-8 or a 17-7, and it's working beautifully. I'm also being very disciplined about keeping my carbs to total of 20 grams a day or less. It's working beautifully. Now, yesterday, I really didn't have many carbs at all. I did have a sugar-free lozenge because I was working at a dog show as a ring steward. So that was, many hours of, up and down, moving, obedience, obstacles, things like that. So I had, basically, it was the cream in my coffee, hard-boiled eggs, and steak. And I gotta tell you, I got up this morning and released an entire pound, and I am officially off of the plateau this morning. So what did I learn from that? And this is what I want to share with you. I have found that the best plateau buster for me is a day of very low carbs mixed with lots of low intensity movement. So I'll say it again because I think it's really important. Low carbs, less than 20 grams total a day, and lots of movement. So what I was doing yesterday wasn't training, it was lots of walking, lots of moving, lots of up and down without pushing too hard. Do you see what I'm saying? This is what I am discovering, and I also just have discovered the same thing working with my clients. What we want to manage our nutrition, whatever eating plan works for you. What works for me and many of my clients for losing fat is keeping those carbs at a total of 20 grams a day or less. That's the nutrition column. And then on the fitness column, these acute periods of intense work, right? So 5 reps with 80 pounds, 5 reps on each side with 20 pounds, very acute. In other words, it's a short period, highly intense, right? Acute training, and then lots of movement. And this is why I call this the Cardio Freedom Challenge, because what we're doing is we are free of cardio, and we're also free of exercise that focuses on calorie burning. I find that very often we sacrifice quality of movement for quantity of movement in order to burn calories. And this is where, if you're like me, this is the kind of thing that makes my knee flare up. Just a little bit of history. When I was at my top weight and getting back into the gym, I'm only 5'1", I was getting back into the gym at 175. So the highest healthy weight for 5'1", I believe, is 131. So we'll just call it 130. So I'm literally 45 pounds over a healthy weight, which means that I could not do any single leg work without pain. No lunges whatsoever. I don't care in what direction. So what I am doing with this challenge is, it's an experiment, and I'm taking all of the moderate intensity steady state cardio out. None. So acute training for lifting, and then low and slow throughout the day. That's the experiment. I am also taking out all of the kind of bending single leg exercises. So you're not going to see any curtsy lunges. You're not going to see any forward lunges. The only single leg exercise that we're going to be doing is going to be that T-bend, right? Or that single leg deadlift, which you will note is done with a straight leg. Because my theory is that what was making my knee flare up was way too much of the weighted bending without excellent form. And then finally, remember, my belief is that we maintain excellent form by dropping the weight to the point where we can get that perfect, or as close to perfect, repetition as possible. So I will leave you with the fact that when I did my bent over tricep extensions today, correct? Those were a little bit heavy because you will notice if you watched, I had to swing them a little bit. So there are my tips and strategies for today. I hope you will enjoy the training. I always do put the training in the video notes so that you can do it if you want to. You can, copy and paste it if you wish, so you have it with you. A note for advanced trainees. This is an excellent program to use for you as well, but what I would do is, if you are an advanced trainee, I would add a 10 rep circuit at the beginning. So you would do 10 reps of all of these exercises with your lighter 10 rep weight, and then do 8 reps with the same weight, and then do 5 reps with that significantly heavier weight to challenge yourself. And I think that that will work really well for my more advanced trainees. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe so you can come back and see the journey. You can follow the channel. If you want my nutrition program, it is available at sugarfreedom.com. If you want to contact me for a custom designed program, you can get a hold of me, Catherine, at cardiofreedom.com. Again, thank you so much for watching. Make it a great week. This is Monday. We've got a good start on Monday, and I'll see you soon back here.